Hey sweeties, how y'all doing today? Hope everybody is doing well. Let me show you this dinner. This was a quick dinner recipe. I really just threw it together with the stuff I had. Bacon wrapped chicken thighs. Yeah, I mean, if you keep good stuff like bacon, chicken thighs, come on. You don't need much more than that. And with the bacon wrapped chicken thighs, I did a creamy broccoli and cheese pasta. It's not your mama's, your grandmama's. It's not your grandmama's mac and cheese. That, it takes a bit of more effort and time to cook, and it's delicious. This is delicious, but it comes together in just about 15 minutes. You just need some pasta, like one of the short pasta shapes. I had fusilli. It works just as well with shells or elbow macaroni. A can of evaporated milk, evaporated, not condensed, and a bunch of cheese. A bunch of cheese, some like salt and maybe a little mustard powder or garlic powder if you like to season it up a little bit. But basically the three ingredients. Oh, and some broccoli. I had some frozen broccoli. I could have just added it in. I'll show you all that later. But first, please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Hit that thumbs up, that notification bell. Now let's get into it. We're going to start by trimming the fat off of some of these chicken thighs. We're just going to take a sharp knife, I'm using a paring knife, and just carving away the fat, the excess fat that we don't need. And I mean, it's really just to kind of look through it, flip it over, and pull off or cut off any globules of fat that you might find. Let's speed this up a little bit, shall we? So just with a sharp knife, you're going to go around the chicken and just pull off any excess fat. And you see there's like a little pocket of fat in this part, and you're just going to carve that out. Being careful not to take too much of the meat out, because you don't want to end up throwing half your meat in the garbage. You just want to go through and pull out any excess fat. And it's not difficult, but it can be a little bit time consuming. There's like a little tough part there I trimmed off. And that's it. All done. Now it's time to season. And I'm just going to season that with a little bit of salt, not too much salt because the bacon is salty. A little fresh ground cracked pepper and some garlic powder. And then I have some thick cut bacon that I cut the strips in half just to make it last a little bit longer. Then I'll just take that chicken thigh, there's like a thinner part there at the bottom, I fold that up, and then just wrap the bacon around the chicken. And then that's it. Now we've got one more chicken thigh to wrap. We're just going to trim it like we did the others. Wrap it in half a slice of bacon. You can use a whole slice, but I'm trying to make these things stretch, make these rations last. So I'm using half slices of bacon for this. Now I'm going to layer those bacon wrapped chicken thighs into a cold skillet and just let it heat up on the stovetop. Then we'll put a little fresh rosemary on there. Give it, rosemary and bacon and chicken. It's all perfect together. Now that it's started to heat up and bubble up on the stovetop, the bottom is starting to cook, then we can pop it into the oven. Now let's move on to our pasta. I'm using fusilli. Any short pasta shape will do. Elbow macaroni will do just fine. Orecchiette or shells will do fine in this recipe. And I'm just going to cover the pasta with water and add some salt. Now let's take that pasta on over to the stove and get it to boiling. Yeah, we're doing things a little different around here today. Instead of getting a big pot of water, bringing it up to the boil, and then adding our pasta in, we're going to start with just water out of the tap with the pasta in the pot and bring it up to the boil on the stove. And once it comes to a boil, we'll drain it and proceed with the recipe. It's a little different, but it works pretty darn well. Let's get back to that bacon wrapped chicken. I like to baste it just so that the top browns nicely. This is an optional step. You really don't have to do this, but I felt like being a little extra today, so I'm just going to baste it with the fat and juices that have come out, and that helps to distribute the rosemary taste as well. Let's get that chicken back into the oven and cook it until the chicken reaches a temperature of 175 degrees. Now let's get back to that pasta. It has cooked. It is nice and tender. We'll just drain the water and return it to the pot and go back to the stove. Add a can of evaporated milk. And evaporated milk is different from condensed milk. Condensed milk has sugar added. Um, Evaporated milk is milk where about 60% of the water has been boiled off, but no extra sugar has been added. So we'll add the evaporated milk, the pasta, and now some shredded, this is a cheddar jack blend of cheese, and stir that up over medium heat, and we'll cook it until it gets thick, which won't take long at all. This will thicken up and the cheese will melt, and that's about it. Now this is a real loose recipe. I threw some Parmesan in there just because I had some in the fridge. I wanted a little extra, like kind of sharp flavor. You can use all cheddar, like a couple of cups of cheddar cheese. This is, I'm really making it up as I go along. I'll put the recipe in the description box so you can see what I did. But you just want to stir those cheese and look how nice and melty and creamy it is. Just that fast. Now I want to add a little vegetable to this, so I got some steam in the bag broccoli and pop that in the microwave, and we're going to add that in. But first we're going to season, taste it for salt. I add a little garlic powder in there. It's actually granulated garlic, which is a little larger crystal, and stir it around. You can add a little bit of powdered mustard to that if you like, just to bring the flavors up some. Our chicken looks real good. That's done. That was super simple. And then while our chicken was cooking, we made this easy pasta. Throw that cooked broccoli in there. And like I said, you could have just, added the frozen broccoli in there and let it cook in the hot, cheesy pasta and thaw in there. But I thought it was just as easy to thaw it in the microwave, cook it in the microwave, so it didn't add too much extra cooking time, and the water from the broccoli then might dilute our cheese sauce. And if this is too thick for you, you can always add a little milk or a little water or something to thin it down. But to me, this is nice and thick and creamy and perfect. So let's dish up our dinner, because dinner is served. Bacon wrapped chicken thighs, juicy chicken thighs. Bacon. This is always a hit around this house. I used a half a slice of bacon just to be a little more frugal. You can use the whole slice if you like. If your chicken thighs are real big, you might need a whole slice of bacon on it. Let's dish it up. Our cheesy pasta and broccoli, that came together so fast, just about 15 minutes. Our bacon wrapped chicken thighs, a little rosemary on there. Man, this is good eating, and this is a pretty fast dinner. Let's give it a taste. Cut your little piece. Make sure you get some of that macaroni, that pasta, cheesy pasta on there. I'm a happy person. That is so good. So good. You're going to like this one. That is it, sweetie. Quick, delicious, bacon wrapped chicken thighs. One of my favorites. So keep good stuff in your freezer, your pantry, your fridge. Bacon is a must have. Chicken thighs, very versatile, stays juicy. Pasta, always. Cheese, a must. Got to keep the cheese in the fridge. And evaporated milk. Now that's one of those things you can keep on the shelf for months, and it's just always there waiting for you. So put that on your shopping list. How are you shopping these days? Are you cutting back on your trips to the grocery store? Are you doing grocery delivery, pickup. I'm doing like the Walmart grocery pickup quite a bit, where you put your order in, and then you drive around to like the side or whatever of the building, and they load it into your car. I've been doing that a bit lately. Quick disclaimer, I have worked with them on like PR stuff before, but I use it before and I use it after working with them. I've loved the service for a while. Right now it comes in very handy because I do try to limit the times that I go into a grocery store. And if you do go into a grocery store, I hope that you are taking the proper precautions. The CDC is recommending wearing a mask now, so take that under advisement. But let me know, how are you doing your shopping? Are you still going into the stores? Are you using Instacart? Are you using grocery pickup from like Walmart or Kroger or whatever grocery store you're using? How are you getting your groceries right now? I'd love to know. Leave me a comment, please, and let me know how you're getting your groceries these days. And if you want more delicious, quick and easy recipes, I'll leave one right there for you, and then you can click right here and subscribe. Have a delicious day.